64. What types of liquids typically form amorphous solids? Okay, so when we're talking about amorphous solids, we're talking about the process in which a liquid will freeze into a solid. So we're talking about a freezing, phase change here, where we have liquid of some type of substance going into a solid. So freezing. Now, when a liquid freezes, it will form basically one out of two different types of solids. The most popular solid that a liquid will form when it freezes is a crystalline solid, in which all of the atoms or the ions or the molecules, the repeating units, are nicely stacked together, and it's a beautiful thing. It's very beautiful to look at. On the flip side, when a liquid will freeze and turn into a solid, it might form an amorphous solid. In here, we can see that these are not aligned as beautifully as your crystalline solids. So these are nicely packed, very geometric in shape. These are kind of like all over the place, right? I guess we'll say not nicely packed. But the key here is to know which liquids will form this type of solid, in which those substances, the repeating units, are not in a nicely geometric form like the crystalline ones. Well, it turns out that the liquids that will form an amorphous solid are ones that don't have enough time to get together all in a line, like a crystalline solid. And if you basically don't have any time, so we'll say when freezing, these substances don't have enough time. And I'm just trying to write it quick for you guys. So they don't have enough time to form a crystalline solid. And they kind of get, They try to pull together in kind of like a formation, but once it freezes, once it turns into a solid, time has run out and they didn't get to the final result. So crystalline solid. So basically the idea is, what types of substances don't have enough time to come together? Well, we're talking about sizing here. Generally, the longer or the bigger the molecule, right? This is just like a generic picture, but the longer the molecule or the bigger the molecule, the harder it is to kind of fit into those nooks and crannies to get a crystalline solid. So, we're talking about large compounds. And generally speaking, they will be not nonpolar, they will be covalent. So we could say large compounds, large molecules. So here are all of your fatty acid-based molecules, the long molecules that we see in waxes. So any type of like candle wax, it's kind of like gooey, right? When it solidifies, that's an amorphous solid, right? Not as, not like if you knocked on a door, right? You get that. If you kind of knock on a candle wax, you're not going to get that same type of feeling. It's amorphous solid. So waxes, we also have like, we'll say fats. So like margarine type of solid, when that freezes, it's kind of like a gooey amorphous solid. So those are long chain molecules. We can say that, when cooking oils, if they solidify, when they freeze, they will form kind of that gooey amorphous solid. And I think I've hit them all. So we're generally looking for large compounds, your large molecules. They're generally going to be fat-based, aka lipid-based. So I'll put that down here. So waxes, fats, oils, lipids, those are all going to be in your amorphous solid. And that basically answers the question here. So let's just box this in. These are the specific types of examples, but the general one is they're just going to be super, super, super large so that they don't have enough time to form the crystalline solid. And that's it. What'd you think? I hope this helped you out. Let me know in the comments. Love hanging out with you guys. Well, I'm kind of hanging out by myself in this room, but as this video gets put out, you'll be watching it, and then we'll be hanging out. But thank you so much for coming to the channel and learning from us. My brother and I, we really do appreciate it. And I'll talk to you soon. Okay? Bye-bye.